Grayson had always been the quiet one. Among the louder, larger-than-life personalities in the Chrisley household, his voice often got drowned out. But on that night, the first night back after Todd and Julie Chrisley returned home, his voice was the only one that mattered. Todd sat on the edge of the bed, trying to process the surreal normalcy of being back. The sheets smelled fresh, the lamp on Julie's side flickered like always, and the floor creaked when he moved. Yet something felt different, lighter in some ways, heavier in others. He hadn't expected the knock. It came softly, almost like Grayson was unsure if he should be there. Todd opened the door to see his son standing in the hallway, clutching a pillow. His expression wasn't just tired, it was scared. "I, can I sleep in here?" Grayson asked quietly. Todd blinked. "In here, with us." Grayson nodded. "Just tonight." Todd could see the weight behind her request. This wasn't about nightmares or childhood habits. This was something deeper, something born out of the months they had spent apart. Julie, already tucked into bed, immediately pulled back the covers, gesturing for Grayson to come in without a word. As the boy settled between his parents, Todd couldn't help but think back to how much Grayson had grown. He was taller now, his voice deeper, but in that moment, all he saw was a kid who had been forced to be brave for too long. Grayson didn't talk much at first. He just lay there, staring up at the ceiling. The hum of the air conditioner filled the silence. Then he whispered, "I didn't know if you were ever coming back." The words hit Todd like a freight train. There had been many painful moments during the ordeal. Legal battles, media scrutiny, prison sentences, but none more piercing than the emotional cost to their children. Julie reached out and held Grayson's hand, squeezing it gently. "We promised we'd come home, and we did." "But promises don't always mean forever," Grayson replied. It wasn't sarcastic. It was just honest. Todd turned to look at his son. "You're right. Sometimes they don't. But this one did. We're here now. We're not going anywhere tonight." Grayson nodded. He shifted a little closer, curling toward his mother like he used to when he was younger. Julie brushed a hand over his hair. Todd reached for the boy's other hand, and together they formed a protective circle, one that felt broken for so long, now whole again, if only for the night. Todd thought back to the first visit Grayson had made while they were gone. How quiet he had been. How hard he had tried to keep it together. How he avoided eye contact and barely spoke a word. That was the moment Todd realized prison wasn't just punishment for him and July. It was a sentence the whole family served. That night, lying in their bed, he felt the gravity of everything they'd missed. Birthday dinners, basketball games, late-night talks. Every little moment that makes up the fabric of family life had unraveled in their absence. Now, Grayson's request wasn't just about comfort. It was about reclaiming those moments. About saying, "I need you," in the only way he could manage. Julie closed her eyes, her breathing steady. Grayson had slowed to, the fear receding into sleep. But Todd stayed awake, watching both of them. The dark didn't scare him. Not anymore. What scared him was how close they came to losing what mattered most. The next morning, when the sun began peeking through the curtains, Grayson stirred and stretched. He blinked, momentarily confused about where he was. Then he saw his parents on either side of him and gave the smallest of smiles. "Thanks," he mumbled, "for letting me stay." "Anytime," Todd replied. "This room's always got space for you." It wasn't long before Savannah poked her head in, grinning at the sight. "Well, well, look at the little cuddlebug." Grayson groaned and pulled the covers over his head. "Don't ruin it." But the laughter that followed was real. Not staged for TV. Not part of any image. Just a family starting again. Later that day, Todd talked to his producer. He wasn't sure yet how much of this they'd share publicly. Some things still felt sacred, but he knew one thing. This moment with Grayson had changed him. Reminded him why they fought so hard to come back. "I don't think people understand," Todd said. "Everyone talks about the scandal, the headlines, but they don't see what it does to a kid who just wants his parents home." Grayson never asked to be on a reality show. He never asked for fame or cameras or lawyers. All he ever wanted was family. And now, as they slowly rebuilt their lives, Todd vowed to protect that as fiercely as he'd ever protected their image. There would be more hard days, sure, but there would also be dinners around the table, movie nights, lazy Sundays, and maybe sometimes the occasional knock at the bedroom door from a son who just needs to be close.